All right, last time we talked about supply and demand. Now we're going to, and we talked about in theory how, supply and demand helped affect the price. But remember, there's no magical formula or magical computer that can tell you what price things should be. Businesses kind of have to figure it out and kind of have to see what the market does. So in a practical world, let's kind of see how this works. Let's say that I start a candy bar company. In fact, it's the first candy bar company in the world, and I make the best candy bars. No one else makes candy bars. I'm the only one. So I start making candy bars, and guess what? My business is the only one who makes them, so the supply is pretty low because there's only one company making candy bars. But who wants them? Lots of people want them. So at this point, when I'm the only one, I can sell candy bars for $5 each. So the price is really high. Well, what happens in the real world when somebody's selling candy bars for $5, especially when it probably costs me 20 cents to make one? So I'm making, $4.80 a candy bar. That's a huge profit. Well, as soon as another company sees that, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to jump in and start making candy bars too. They're going to say, perfect opportunity. I want to make candy bars too. So what do? They start making candy bars, which makes what? Let's see, supply. Let's put this up here. Supply and demand. If they start making candy bars too, what happens to the supply? The supply starts to go up, which means the price is going to go down. So now I can't sell them for $5 anymore because this other company is going to sell them cheaper. So we have to sell the candy bars now for, we'll say, $2.50. We'll split the difference. So this is when there's two companies. Well, guess what? $2.50 is great for a candy bar. You're still making a ton of money. Not as much as we were making. Wish we could still be making that, but that's okay. We're still making a ton of money. Well, if we're still making a ton of money making candy bars and this other company is still making a ton of money making candy bars, what's going to happen? Well, more people are going to start making candy bars. So now let's say there's 7 companies that join in. And now we have to sell candy bars for 30 cents each. The price goes way down. Are we still making money? Yes, but not very much money. So it's not a great profit anymore. In fact, when this starts to happen, there's some of the companies, my company's a good one. We can make them for 20 cents and still make 10 cents a candy bar. But some of these other companies, maybe they don't do a very good job and they can't quite sell it for that. So now, some of these companies go out of business. Now maybe there's only 4 companies that make candy bars. Let's see, the supply still went up there. Well, now that there's only 4 companies that make candy bars, the supply goes down, which means what? The price is going to go back up. Let's say it's going to go up. Here we're going to sell candy bars now for, $1.25 each. Well, that's pretty good. In fact, now I'm making a pretty good profit, $1 candy bar. So another company decides to join in, and now we can sell candy bars because they come in. Supply goes on, we can only sell them for 50 cents, maybe, because the supply went up here. And then maybe you hear they realize that company went out of business, but we make better candy bars. Anyway, eventually we'll find the perfect price. $5 was not the perfect price for the candy bars. $2.50 wasn't, 30 cents wasn't. We find out that 75 cents is the perfect price where we can sell the most candy bars and make the most money with everybody. That kind of balances out the supply and demand. It makes it perfect if we can sell them for 75 cents each. So, let's talk about 2 definitions here. The first one is market price. Market price is what candy bars are currently being sold for. So here they were being sold for $5, here $2.50, here $1.25, here $30. Here, that's the market price. As the market price changed. The other thing is the equilibrium price. The equilibrium price, I think I wrote that off the side of the board. I did. Equilibrium price, that's what it says. Here, I'll write it over here again. Equilibrium price. The equilibrium price is the perfect price where the most people can buy candy bars and the most people can sell candy bars. In other words, there's the biggest candy bar distribution in the world. Candy bars have helped the most people that they can. So the equilibrium price, I guess in this case we found is 75 cents. where lots of businesses will sell candy bars, and lots of people will buy candy bars, and the most people have candy bars. Because that's really the goal of classical economics, is to get it out, to get goods out to the most people, to see if we can find what's the best way for the most people to have a house, the most people to have a car, the most people to have candy bars. But in order for that to happen, you have to have enough businesses making them, and the price has to be low enough that the most people can buy them. So there's a balance there. If the price is too low, then we'll stop building houses, if we're selling houses. If the price is too low, people won't build houses because they won't make much money off of it. But if the price is too high, people won't buy houses because they cost too much. So you're trying to find the equilibrium price where the most people can have the most things. So that's kind of how it works in the real world. If you're doing with classical economics, we're going to talk about a few more things before we move on to the next part.